Now that we've seen the effects of really good charter statements, authority statements, let's take a look at the domino effect of a bad charter. I've got some cool examples. These are closer to home. They're not as big as Boeing and the Denver airport and all of that stuff. These should resonate with you quite well. So let's say the charter lacks clear objectives or authority. The impact of that is going to be your entire plan is fuzzy. There's no alignment, there's no baseline, scope management's going to be vague, there's no clarity in time, and it's just going to be a guessing game. And it all started right there. No clear objectives. Charter doesn't define what's in, what's out. Well, that's going to result in conflict over what the deliverables are. You're going to have scope creep, rework, angry stakeholders. Deliverables are questionable. I don't know what they are. Don't ask me. I didn't do it. So the charter doesn't include high-level milestones or end dates. Now, I may not have mentioned it before, but a milestone is a key date. 4th of July in the United States is a key date. Christmas, New Year's, your birthday, stuff like that. Must be delivered by the end of Q2. And if you don't have any key milestones, you can kiss the schedule goodbye. You're going to have schedule problems. Cost management plan. The charter has no funding limits. Let's just say no funding or approval yet. Well, that's absolutely going to result in your budget being in a black hole. You're going to have funding surprises. That is not a good way to do things at all. Imagine turning around one day and looking at your bank account and you're like, wow, I've got $2,000 in here. And the next day you have $1,000. And then the next day you have no dollars. And then you're just wondering, when am I going to have some dollars? Well, now multiply that by 1,000% or 10,000%. You've spent a bunch of money and you're waiting for the next quarterly drop in that bucket. It's not approved. You have no idea. That would be a very uncomfortable place to be. Can you imagine having half the work done and only having half the money and not knowing if you're going to get the rest? That's ridiculous. Let's move on. Let's see. The charter ignores major risks. Whoops. Let me change that and go back to this one. If you don't have any major risk right out of the gate, risk planning is going to start late and you're going to end up risk reactive. I've seen these projects, risk reactive, and it normally means mo money. Risk is all about being proactive as much as possible. Reducing threats, increasing opportunities, not mitigating or dealing with them as they pop up. It's a bad place to be. Stakeholder register. We don't understand the approvals. No approval process. Stakeholder analysis is guesswork. You're going to have a lack of ownership. I like that red. I hope it looks okay. It looks like it looks okay, but I never know. Let's talk about communications. Charter doesn't outline reporting expectations, which means communications is wonky. There's a sweet spot between communicating too much and communicating too little. If you don't have clear reporting expectations and requirements and formats, timelines and all that stuff, it ain't going to be right. And every time I've seen communications get sideways on a project, your stakeholders get upset. And when your stakeholders get upset, your career progression light starts to dim. Don't be that project manager. Now let's add a couple from PMBOK 7. The charter doesn't define the PM's authority. Then there's no enforcement muscle. There's no muscle for the team. Remember, you're probably not doing this alone. In a vacuum, you've got a team. But if no one understands what your level of authority is, how can you have anyone do anything? And the answer is, you can't. Let's say there's no vision statement. There is no why. If there's no vision statement, you're going to have low team morale, decision paralysis, and the value delivery gets lost. Think about a time you were with a group and someone said, why are we doing this? And they went, yeah, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go here and here and here. We're going to do this. We're going to deliver that. We're all going to get this. It's going to be magical. We're going to have jazz hands. I mean, that would kind of hype you up and you would buy into that. If there's no vision statement, if there's no why we're doing this, you're just going along to get along. You want to be inspired. People don't just want to take instructions and follow ridiculous directions on a project. They want to be a part of it. And if there's no vision, they're going to feel outside of it. They're going to feel disconnected. And I know that might sound corny, but you know people. You know when they have no buy-in and no interest in doing this. And when there's no interest in doing it, productivity goes crash and burn. There's no success criteria. Without success criteria, Prioritization becomes subjective. You have no idea what's more important than something else. You're just kind of making it up as you go. And the last one, no clear governance. And by governance, I mean you don't understand who approves what. And when you don't have that, there's conflicting authority. Got my arrow. And audits are problematic. If you can't clearly define who had the authority to make whatever that decision was, how can you hold anyone accountable? I know it sounds completely ridiculous, but in some companies, in some places, they believe in responsibility with accountability. Don't step up unless you're ready to level up. If you're not looking for accountability, you're not about to get the responsibility that goes with it. And if you have both and you do a good job, you get to reap the rewards of your awesomeness. So that'll end this section. When we come back, let's look at some practical tips to keep you out of these potholes.